there was a lot of distractions and things that were trying to pull us and keep us from this conference. And that's always the case, though. There's always something that's going to try and pull us away from the Lord and from receiving from him. I just felt like all this obligation, and I just felt what the Lord was saying, let the dead bury their own dead. That was what came to mind. And that sounds harsh and that sounds mean, but Jesus said that when the guy was like, oh, I want to come and follow you. And he's like, but first let me go do this thing, this obligation, let me bury my father. It's like we have this obligation to tradition or family, like a family event or just anything like that. We have these feelings like that, and they are like real things that are important, but they can pull us away from the Lord. No matter how good they are, they can pull us away from the Lord. And so I felt that, and I also felt the Lord say, the phrase in my mind was forsaking all others. When you get married, you vow to forsake all others, and that is what we do with the Lord. So that's what I felt the Lord was speaking to me. So all the obligations, he'll let them go, and the distractions. Receiving from the Lord always requires faith. That's what that meant to me, was just going. No matter what happened, we were going. I wanted to receive from the Lord, and that's faith. When there's that expectancy that, I'm going to go and I'm going to receive what the Lord wants me to receive no matter what. When I went up, that was what I wanted from the Lord, was to be gutted. I was like, I need the Lord to just wreck me. And that's what I went for, and that's what I received. And we could listen to the recording, but it's not the same as being there in person. It does not have the same effect. So I'm so thankful that we made it. Aside from all the distractions and all that, what I got from all of the teaching was the forsaking all others message. That is the bridal message. That is Banner of Love. It was like a good dose of what the identity of Banner of Love is, that I'm part of. We're all in this church for a reason, and it was kind of like inner healing or something, but as a whole, and just receiving the identity of Banner of Love and not being ashamed of it. That's what this conference was to me. And there are two churches, and that is the biblical message, and we need to stop apologizing for it and stop allowing people to stop listening to mockers and scoffers and just speak that message. And there are those who really do forsake all others and devote themselves to Christ, and there are those who don't want to, and they would rather have a false message, and they would rather have a false Jesus. Or another thing that was striking me was that the harlot church, they want to call themselves the bride. So I was just thinking, in the natural, we want a faithful spouse, but we want the Lord to not get a faithful spouse. And that is the harlot message. It's it's okay. He doesn't care. He's okay with having a harlot as a bride, and he's not. And so just that whole message, this is the biblical message. We have a biblical message. It is not Banner of Love's message. It's the Bible's message. And it's plain as day in the scripture if you go and read it for yourself. Just that, the unapologetic and recharge and refocus. This is why we plant churches, because it's urgent. It is a rescue mission. We're trying to snatch people out of the fire, because that's what God does. And it's not our message, it's God's message.